Hey, we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Coach's Corner. My name is Robyn Herron, and we were just talking about we need to get an intro going here. We need to have some music
Yeah.
play, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We got to get it going. We got to get it going.
Yes.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
welcome back. My name is Robyn Herron, and I am your carnivorous grandma. I'm also a certified metabolic health coach. And every other week, Coach Sherrod over here and I sit down to have an honest conversation about health to help you understand why your body works the way that it does. So, tonight we're going to tackle a question that many of us as adults have heard or have heard someone else say that this was told to them. And that question is, do I need to take this medication for the rest of my life? So maybe you were diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure. Maybe it was high cholesterol or even acid reflux. Maybe you've been diagnosed with anxiety or depression. Maybe it's arthritis. But many of us have heard these words. You'll probably be taking this medication for the rest of your life, right? And for some people that actually may be true, but for others of us, it may not be true. So I think the problem is that very few people are helped to understand the difference. So tonight, we're not telling you to stop taking your medication. Let's just put that out there first. We are not doctors or medical professionals, and we are not telling you to stop taking your medication. So we want you to not stop taking a prescribed medication without working with your healthcare professional. So, this episode is about understanding why some medications are prescribed when they're life saving, why they may be temporary, and how your lifestyle can sometimes change the trajectory of chronic disease. So, one of the questions that we're asking over and over and over again here on Coach's Corner is, are we simply managing disease or are we generating health in our bodies, right? And so those are way two different goals because we just, know that a lot of us have been managing diseases and slowing the progression, but still getting more and more medications over time. So we want to create health. We want to create a space for discussion on how we can change our actual health. So what does that mean? That means we want to improve the environment inside of our bodies so it can function as well as possible. So sometimes the medicine and the goal happens together, but oftentimes it does not. So tonight we're going to go ahead and unpack the difference. Hey, Sherrod.
Hey, hey.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
this is Meat Man, they call me. It's my nickname around my circle. But I'll let y'all call me that if you want. But I'm also Coach Sherrod. I'm a metabolic health coach, lifestyle coach. Hey, and just a motivator. So we talk about medicines. This is one of those things that's right up my alley. Since I've been doing carnivore, animal based this last year, I have really been 100% into my own health, and it's just something I've been wanting to do. I don't want to continue to take high blood pressure medicines. I refuse to take statins, so I never did take that. And then I refuse to take the other medications as well, some for the diabetes, which right now my A1C, I got my labs back. It was 5.3, I think it was. Did I show you that? I think I showed you my last.
I can't remember. Yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you did.
It was way below, what it used to be. So about a year and a half, 2 years ago, it was
Hmm.
7. No, 6 point. When I first started changing my things, it was like 6.7 or something like that, and now it's below. And so
Hmm.
some of the thoughts was, because I've heard, they say, well, you're still going to be, my medical team told me I still was going to be considered pre-diabetic. You'll always be, because you can't be cured from it. And I was like, really? Hmm. Even though the
Hmm.
numbers are below, you're still considering me pre-diabetic. So And thank you for sharing with me, Robyn, about going to get that taken off your medical records, because that's my next move. But as far as all these medications, this is one of the thoughts that, a lot of times we're told things and sometimes we just take it as it is. And, it's one of those things like I would love to come off my blood pressure medicine. And I think I'm taking one more medicine that I would love to just be able to stop. And so I understand I need to keep checking my labs and making sure, so in order to do those things, I need to be regularly checking my blood pressure. So that's something I should do at home, and so I'm just saying you just take it. And then I'll take that sheet in to my doctor when I see him. And I'll be like, look at my blood pressures over the course of this last month. So low. Do you think we can start inching off this medicine? Because eventually, like next year sometime, I'll give them a year. I want to be done with it, So that's my plan and my goal. But thinking back in, a couple years for me, I had the biggest medicine. I think it was like a month thing. It's like this big counter. It was so much. I think I gave it away because I just couldn't. It was just too much medication to be putting into a big old big countertop pill dispenser. And so you look at your countertops in your bathroom, wherever you keep your medicine, the question was asked, how did I end up taking all this medication? Okay. And so for most people, that don't happen overnight. Generally it starts one prescription at a time, and then another, and then another. And then over time, taking all this medication becomes part of the routine. So understanding why you're taking it, it often gets lost along the way, right? So tonight, we're not trying to convince anyone to stop taking medicine, as was said. That's not what we're here to do. If you prescribe medicine, you should take it. Okay, let me just say that right then and there. Okay, that's not what we're saying, but we are asking you to ask the questions. Okay. And not to us. We don't, ask them to yourself, and then take it to your medical provider and ask them the questions, right? So, because when you understand what's happening inside your body, you can have better conversations with your healthcare person, right? So you're the one, you're the advocate, you're the spokesperson for you. And so when you go in to talk to your doctor, you definitely need to be armed with information. And so that might take some, looking at some things on your end, right? You might need to, once again, have a history of recording your own blood pressures, if we're talking about blood pressure medicine, or recording anything. If you're taking, like, I was on prednisone. Okay, how is this stuff making me feel? Just taking notes. So when you go back, you're armed with some stuff instead of them just thinking you're just sitting in here complaining because you don't want to take no cough medicine. Like, for instance, my wife, she was coughing for my blood pressure medicine, and I happened to just look and see that was one of the side effects. And so she went in to ask, could she get off the medication? And the doctor didn't want to do it. And I said, excuse me. I said, this medication side effect is coughing. I said, she's been coughing real bad. Matter of fact, it's affecting her job. So they had to take her off. I mean, it's like sometimes some providers they're stuck on what they want to do and give you, but there's always some option sometimes. So always look into that. And so anyway, she was able to change her medicine, and we've since moved on from that provider anyway. So,
right.
Back into your hands.
Absolutely. I mean, I love what you were saying about that big giant thing of medications. You were talking about that. I was talking about thinking about my friend Carrie Mann, and he still has that big box of medications that he was on. He shows, you ever seen it on his channel?
I haven't seen it, but I believe
you. He used to show that almost every live stream. He would show it. I don't know if he's still doing that or not, but yeah. So let's say hey to some people, because there's some folks in the chat. So Dustin, Keto Simple is here. Welcome. Good evening, Dustin. So glad that you're here.
Yes.
And he is saying that that's a way to look at any medication that's offered or prescribed. Will it just manage symptoms or actually help the root cause? And I think so many times it's not really even designed to help the root cause. And we're going to talk about that tonight.
Yes.
Strawberry Okari, BB Okari. Hi. So glad that you're here tonight. And
Hello.
then Glitch Flame is happy. Hey, so glad you're here.
Hi.
Dustin's
Thanks for
saying that
joining
the
us.
reason why doctors don't think that you can get that diagnosis removed is because they rarely see anyone actually lower their A1C below the pre-diabetic range. I think they're going to
Wow.
start to see it more and more often as
Yes.
people start to go animal based, but that's true. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So glad that you guys are here with us tonight.
Yes.
So we've been really taught some things and we've been accepting these things over time as truth without questioning, right? And so, um, this disease or that disease, particularly things like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and a myriad of other disease states, that they are chronic and incurable, and you're basically just stuck with that for the rest of your life. I mean, I remember the sort of the dogma or the idea that diabetes, type 2 diabetes in particular, you would just get sicker and sicker until you start to lose your limbs. You're going to lose your eyesight, all these different things about the disease. And we never really question it. We never really questioned it, right? So I want to be really careful here because, again, we are not doctors or medical professionals. So sometimes it could be possible that a particular disease may require you to be on a medication for the rest of your life, right? But oftentimes, though, what we're seeing is that is an incomplete statement that you're going to be on this medication for the rest of your life because our bodies are so dynamic, it's constantly adapting to the environment we give it, right? So your body is responding to the inputs that you're putting in. So what are you eating? How are you eating? Are you eating, like us, we're primarily animal based. Are you eating a nutritional way of eating? And are you eating a lot of ultra processed foods? Are you eating a lot of seed oils? Those kinds of things, right? So how well are you eating is probably the main thing. But then there are other factors like sleep. How much are you getting enough sleep? How well are you sleeping? Are you getting any movement at all? Do you have a lot of stress in your life? Maybe you're a smoker or a drinker. Those things can impact you. And then what about inflammation? If you have high inflammation, that's something that could be a factor. But your body really is responding every single day. So when someone hears that nothing can ever change, this disease is chronic and incurable, they often stop believing their daily choices matter. I see this so many times where I see people who find out they have type 2 diabetes and they get put on medication and they use that medication to control the blood sugar so that they can continue to eat whatever they want, right? We see this happening
Correct.
all the time.
Yes.
So you stop believing that those daily choices matter, but they really are a huge factor. So it's really sad that we're losing hope before we even had an opportunity to try to improve. And that whole idea that everything is chronic and incurable puts us in a position where we think that we can't do anything about it, right? So yeah, that removes the motivation to do better because there's no, eventually I'm just gonna start to have these problems. I'm gonna start to my organs are gonna be messed up, and maybe I'll have to go on dialysis. I'm gonna have hypertension, or I'm going to have whatever disease state it is, and it's incurable, right? It gives us it gives us it takes away our hope for the future. So what we are here to do is to replace that hopelessness with understanding. because when you understand your condition, you start to ask better questions, which is what Sherrod was talking about. When I go to my doctor and I say, you know, okay, you know, this medicine is causing me this problem. Why do I need to stay on it? Or what would be the reason I would stay on this medication that is causing this side effect, right? And so we need to be asking those questions. So we want to become a partner in our own health. And I think that is where a lot of us are, there's a gap there where we're not considering ourselves partners with our medical practitioner. We're considering like they're the boss of us almost, you know, and they're the one who are running the show, but it's your body. So we got to keep that in mind. We want to be a better partner. We want to be a better advocate for our own health. And also we need to realize that lifestyle does matter. Those lifestyle choices do matter. And they can even change the whole game like they have done for us, right, Sherrod?
Right. Something you said a lot of stuff in that. So it's so good though. I was thinking as you were talking, you know, we get stuck and believe that nothing's going to change, right? You just start taking the medicine, and I had a thought about this too. I remember a family doctor back in the day, you know, treated your parents, then you treat you, then you became an adult, you know, and so you would be with that same doctor for, you know, I don't even, is that still something going on in this world today? Because it seems like now it's more of a, you know, let's get you in, you know, it'd be, if they spend 10 to 15 minutes with you, that's a lot right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to talk about more than one thing, you
Right.
know. So it's a lot of, and then a lot of the times you're seeing, and nothing against PAs or nurse practitioners. I think as far as patient care and talking and understanding, I think a lot of them are very great. And I'm glad that I have one. And so she was great. So of course, you know, I gotta get a new provider. So I'm looking forward to that anyway. But you know, when I meet them, I'm going in. I've already got my list together, my questions, my, you know, and so I'm gonna go in and have a talk with them. But some of the things we talk about, like, a diagnosis is a diagnosis. It's what it is. And it doesn't mean if you were diagnosed with something like right now, you know, it just tells you where you are right now. It don't tell you where you should be 5 years from now. It doesn't tell you this is where you are 20 years from now, right? So we take these diagnoses, you know. I remember going into a doctor and they're saying, oh yeah, you know, you need to take, first time going to a medical place and they tried to get me out of there with 3 pills, 3 different medications. And I'm just like, man, y'all don't even know me. You've just spent 30 minutes with me. And now you try to give me blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine, and metformin, you know. And so I'm so glad that I decided to start changing my food, because that's the prime catalyst behind a lot of the disease state we're in today, metabolically, right? It's, you know, when we talk about blood pressure, all these different things. And, you know, it's sad because our country today is really taking a hit on that in this country. Not only that, it's happening across the world. And I think I made a post yesterday about India being like in the top 3 for diabetes. And it was something in there. It said that they were following our U.S. guidelines, food guidelines, since back in the day. So I'm just like, so I should have looked to see where we are today. Maybe somebody out there can look and see, where does the United States rank as far as diabetes in the world? because some of these things are important. It just shows it's more to do than they will let you know, really to do with our food. And a lot of this can be cut out just by changing and stopping eating sugar. And I know we don't want to hear that word because, even folks in my family, when I start talking to them about sugar, oh my goodness, they start tightening and clenching up and, don't want to hear it. But it's your health. And if I can help you prevent something 10, 20 years from now, because that sugar is, then cause some things happening in your body. Yeah, that's what I want to do, because I don't want you to have to get on medication, right? Because medication, as Robyn mentioned and talked about, is, a lot of times we take it and then we just continue to keep eating the way we want to eat. And so because I'm taking this medicine, I'll be all right. Oh, I can still eat these burgers and these fries and all this stuff. I ain't got to worry about my cholesterol because I'm taking cholesterol medicine. Well, I wouldn't put all my trust in that cholesterol medicine if I were you. So I'm just saying. So when we talk about that, many people find out, which category they're in because they never ask. They never ask their doctors. And that's one reason why we doing what we're doing today is we want to bring this up so that you can start questioning and asking your providers. We're not trying to replace your doctors. We're not trying to, once again, tell you to stop taking your medicine. You need to take your medicine, okay? But you need to ask some questions, and we're going to get more into that.
Absolutely. To answer your question, where does the U.S. rank in type 2 diabetes? We are the top, we're the number 3.
Wow.
Number 1 is
Okay.
India. Number 2 is China.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe because of
According to
population.
I just Googled it. it.
No, that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. And India is mostly a vegetarian.
Yes, mostly.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, they have a
some
very
who eat
high
meat.
number of vegetarians. Yes, in
Yes.
India. I remember the first time I went to India. Well, I've only been there once, but I'm planning on going again.
Yeah. Yes.
I got on I flew Air India, and when you got onto Air India, it was like you stepped into India. So it was like, do you want your meal to be veg or non-veg? You know what that was at that point. But now, yes. So they're very high concentration of vegetarians in India. That's true.
Yes.
We did have a question here
Okay.
from Yasha. Yasha asked if we're doctors, and Yasha,
No.
we are not doctors.
No.
What we are is we are health coaches, and then needing advice on MS. And so again, we're not doctors, and we don't give medical advice. But what I can say is that MS is a chronic inflammatory autoimmune disease, and autoimmune disease is generally it generally responds well to a primarily animal-based way of eating. Let me put it that way. So that's in the case of most autoimmune conditions. So if you would want to have a conversation about that, you can definitely reach out to us at CG Health Coaching, and we'd be happy to talk more in detail about your personal situation. But yes, autoimmune disease definitely responds well to carnivore. I'm just going to say it. It responds well generally to carnivore, and there's lots and lots and lots of examples of people having really, really great response to a meat-based way of eating for their MS. Go ahead, Sherrod.
And I am one of those examples. I don't have MS, but I do have what they call sarcoidosis. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And same kind of situation where it's an autoimmune disease and basically causes very high inflammation in my body. And as soon as I started carnivore, day three, Day 3, a lot of my pain and inflammation was gone. Now I did a very strict. I did just beef, water, butter. That was it. And I did that for a long time. And I just feel like my body is recovered a great deal. I didn't want to continue taking steroids. That was the main, for me, I didn't want to take the drugs. The drugs I didn't want to get past taking that because it has way more side effects. Some of the other drugs, they scare me. Okay. That's why I didn't never want to take them. So carnivore came along and allowed me a way to be able to reclaim a portion of my life and health strength back. So now I was able to go and do things and move around a little better. I'm not going to say it completely healed me of sarcoidosis, but I would say it did a lot better than taking the drugs that I was given for it to do. If that helps you out.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yes. And so I definitely, would recommend, definitely a conversation with a health coach just to help
yes,
you try to process the
yes,
information around
yes,
nutrition and
yes,
lifestyle as
yes,
regards autoimmune conditions. Okay. So
yes, yes.
thank you for that
Because
question.
this is not just changing your food. It's actually looking at your whole lifestyle as well. Okay, because
Mhm.
one, I wasn't getting good sleep. I wasn't getting good hydration. All these things. There's so many things that really matter for your overall health. But once you get all these things in line, and you could start with the food. That's the most simplest thing to start with. I tell you, everything else to start, you'll see it. That's the biggest contributor, I believe. So
I think so too. Yep. I think 80% of our problem is the foods with quotes that we are eating.
yes,
So let's talk
yes.
a little bit about medication. We know that medication is not the enemy. And so, Sherrod, do you want to tell us a little bit about why medications exist?
Well, we've been using medication over the years, right? I mean, over our history on this planet, medication has been used. So
Hmm.
medicine is not a bad thing. Medicine has changed the world. Okay, millions of people are alive today because medication exists. That's the
Yes,
truth. We got
that's right.
antibiotics, we got insulin, heart medications, asthma inhalers, anti-rejection medicines. These aren't signs of failure, okay? These are examples of medical breakthroughs that save lives every single day. So, but this is what I don't want people to miss. Medication and lifestyle are not competing with each other. They're often working towards the same goal. Sometimes medication provides stability while you improve the things you actually have the ability to change, as we just talked
Yes.
about, right? So that's not choosing one over the other. And that's not what we're telling you to do. That's using every appropriate tool available to improve your health. Plain and
Right.
simple.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we know that not all medications serve the same purpose, right?
Right.
So some of the medication is going to replace something that your body can no longer do. I'm thinking in terms of something like type 1 diabetes, where your pancreas literally has stopped producing insulin, right? And so without insulin replacement, people will develop these life-threatening complications. So, you have to have insulin replacement in order to deal with the fact that your pancreas is no longer producing insulin. Somebody who has had a kidney transplant, let's say, might need to have, or definitely needs to have, those immunosuppressive medications so that the body doesn't reject the new organ, right?
Yeah.
So our body would reject that because it just recognizes it as a foreign body. And it's like, I'm going to repel this. This has got to go, right? So we need to have
Yes.
the medication to help our bodies to accept the new organ. So in that case, the medication is literally replacing something that the body can't safely manage on its own. but other medications work differently, right? And so I would put other medications in the category of like supportive. They would support you while you make the changes that you need to correct the situation. So, we want to make sure that we are not just managing our symptoms, right? But we need to address the underlying drivers of the disease. So, and many, many times it has to do with the fact that we are just consuming way too much sugar. Let me just put it out there. We are consuming way too much sugar and it's causing
Amen.
a myriad of different disease states, right? So those medications are just kind of controlling the symptoms, and as we continue to live the same lifestyle, then they add another medicine and another medicine and another medicine as our symptoms continue to get worse and basically not addressing the lifestyle change that's needed to correct the problem. So, we need to understand the situation that we're in. Are we in a situation where we need a medication because our body cannot do something, right? Our body just can't do this thing. And so now we need a medication. Or are we in a position where we're taking a medication to control a symptom that we can address with a lifestyle change? And so that is a really, really important question.
Hmm.
The other thing I wanted to touch on is, the fact that we are treating numbers like Elder Brown or Coach Brown was saying here, that you go to the doctor and they run your numbers, right? They're going to take your labs. You're going to get your blood pressure, and you have your labs done. You got your blood sugar, your A1C, you got your lipid panel, triglycerides and HDL, you got your weight and all of these things, and your doctor looks at the numbers and starts throwing medicine at those numbers, right? So that's when you walk away from the doctor and they've given you 3 medicines and they just met you, right?
Yes.
So the numbers are an indicator to them of some kind of disease state that they want to address with a medicine, right? So the numbers do matter. They help us to estimate our risk, but numbers are just measurements. The numbers are not health itself, right? So what I'm trying to say is a normal blood pressure reading does not automatically mean every aspect of your cardiovascular health has improved just because you have a normal blood pressure reading, right? A lower blood sugar does not necessarily mean that we have addressed the insulin resistance overall, right? So these numbers in isolation just don't mean all that much, right? So
Hmm.
we lower our cholesterol. Cholesterol, we need to just do a whole show about cholesterol, actually, because we lower our cholesterol and thinking that that is going to be beneficial for us. But we are dealing with chronic inflammation, metabolic health, and we're dealing with cardiovascular risk. We're dealing with so many different factors, right? So we have to look at this holistically. We have to look at how we feel. How's our energy? How's our sleep? What's your waist circumference? That's something that I've
Yeah.
never had a doctor measure my waist circumference when I went.
Yeah.
And, they just have never done it, right? When we think about becoming metabolically flexible, being able to burn fat for fuel, how many of us can actually do that easily? How can we easily transition back and forth? How about walking? Can you move? Can you walk? Can you get around? Can you walk further than you could before? And how's your recovery after you do activity? So, medication can improve numbers, but lifestyle often changes the biology that produced those numbers in the first place. So, what we're saying is we want medication where it's needed, but we want lifestyle change where where it is effective to change the health trajectory, right, Sherrod?
That's right. Um, Man, I was trying to think about something you said there because, you know, there's so many factors that take in that now that I've been learning and studying about this myself, that there's a myriad of things that need to be taken into consideration. And I always like to say, I think I got prescribed blood pressure medicine wrong because I just happened to be, at the health center, and then I had a headache, so I went and checked it out. My blood pressure was high. Now
Which
they
makes sense.
took my blood pressure with the wrong size cup.
Oh my goodness.
And it kept, it kept busting open. I already know this is not gonna be right because you got the wrong size cup. Every time
Right.
it gets full, it busts open. So they kept trying to use those numbers. And so they was like, here, you gotta take this. Because they was telling me I couldn't leave unless my blood pressure came down. And I was like, what? And so so toward the end of the day, another nurse found a manual blood pressure, and she took my blood pressure. And you know what it was? It was like 120 over 70. Yeah.
Wow.
And so generally my blood pressure has always been, for the last 25, 30 years, 130 over 70. Well, according to them moving the goalpost on us 2 or 3 times, because it used to be 140. It was 140 before they would say you were pre-hypertension. And so, you know what that number is? 120 now. Did you know that? Like, it's 120 over, like they're saying, if it's above that, you're and I'm like, okay, we just moving the goalposts. And it's just
and in so many ways. Yes.
Yes.
Cholesterol too. Yep.
Cholesterol, yep. And blood sugars. Because I remember back in the day, I can go look at mine about 20 years ago. My A1C was 6.1, and that was normal. I kid you not, it was normal. Now today, that same blood sugar would be pre-diabetic. And so we're saying the measurements are one thing. It's a measurement, but we need to be asking our doctors to look at the whole picture as well, right? Instead of just looking at our number and then prescribing us medications that, what else is going on? Why is it like that? Let's investigate those things. Let's look at that. So this should hopefully this makes all of you that listen to this, that happen to listen to this, maybe you know somebody that could probably just watch this video and get a little information, a little help, because a lot of times we don't have people that will talk to us about these things. And when you don't know, you just go ahead and go with whatever they give you. And not to say that you don't need it, but let's question it to make sure you need it. That's all, right? That's all. And what else can you be doing, even if we start taking this? Like, I got goals, next year I want my blood pressure or blood sugar, whatever, to be better. So I'm going to make changes today to make that happen. And that's all. So, we want better nutrition. We want better we want you to improve. We want your sleep to improve. We want you to have less stress. All these can be a combination of factors that can contribute to these things. So understanding the difference helps you to become more involved in your own healthcare instead of simply waiting around to get prescribed some more medication. So
absolutely, 100%. We have a question. Yeah. Let's take this question from Dustin. He wants to ask each of us, so I'll let you answer first, Sherrod.
Okay.
When do you think we'll see the tipping point or paradigm shift in the medical establishment that a proper human diet is the first course of action over medications?
Well, I'm going to say it's probably not going to be in the near future. Okay. If you think about the way our system is set up, money is the biggest influence over prescriptions, over health insurance, the insurance companies, the hospitals, all these systems benefit from us being on medication. and it feeds our whole economy, man. I'm just telling you, these folks is look, these CEO, they're making money, millions of dollars running these corporations because, and just think, if we want, let's not even talk about the food industry in itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all these different industries, and I believe they all in cahoots together. They sit at the same tables and, probably plot on how they can continue to make the money they make, because it's not really about us, right? I mean, because if it was about us, we would be at the center of each of all the decisions. And because we don't have the money and the influence to influence even the testing, that's what I hear is the one thing with the proper human diet, being able to get the studies done. It costs so much money to do research and have this stuff done. That money won't be invested by our government, I don't think, in the near future. So I don't know. Only thing I can say is, unless the mass of this country decides they want to eat a proper human diet and make the changes and start forcing our politicians, our medical, to start listening to us, I don't think that'll happen. And I think sugar has too much control in this country.
Big sugar. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To just let a no sugar way of eating come in between sugar. No, I don't think sugar's gonna let that happen. So you go ahead.
I have to agree. That's why we're out here. I think many of us are out here shouting into the void, right? To tell people to become your own advocate. I agree that it is going to take some time, and also it's going to take some grassroots effort, like what we're doing, what we're seeing in the community. And still, it's just a drop in the bucket. It's just a drop in the bucket of what we need to do to be able to make the systemic change that needs to happen. You think about, if everybody got healthy, somebody's yacht is not getting paid for. Somebody's kids ain't going to college. You know what I mean? So it does benefit, and we talk about that, have talked about that a lot, like on Hey Sister Girl, have had many shows to talk about this, the web that is going on here, between all these big corporations and, the big, we got big sugar here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I think it's us that have to have a paradigm shift. It's the people, each individual, each of us making a decision that, hey, there's something wrong here. Why am I addressing all these symptoms instead of getting down to the root cause? And so when we talk about root causes, we want to think about the underlying drivers of disease, right? So what is it that's literally causing the problem? And I think much of it has to do with way too much sugar. We're eating, where our body can literally take 1 teaspoonful of additional added sugar, 4 carbohydrates additional added, and we're eating hundreds and hundreds of additional carbohydrates per day. And it's really, our bodies, our biology just cannot handle that. From that to the ultra processed foods that are ultra palatable and literally not food, not meant for human consumption, to the seed oils. And then you have all these chemicals on the plants. You got the glyphosate, and all of this is the this and the that are the underlying root cause of this disease, right? I was so thankful this week. We started our summer program at church, and we had Coach Brown in the kitchen, a carnivore in the kitchen, man, making some really significant small changes, right? Not changing everything at once, but just making small changes that could really be impactful. And I just did a video. I put a video up on my channel. It should be posted up tonight, And his wife, who was in the kitchen with him this week, was saying that the difference in the kids from prior years to this year, just like making those small changes, like removing the toxic seed oils and cooking in tallow,
Yeah.
just removing the dessert, like you got to have a dessert with every meal, removing
No
that,
desserts. Yes.
removing the juice, like no
Yes.
juices, was a big, big change, right? So we think about root causes. Are you still smoking? I used to smoke, y'all. So I'm not
I did
judging
too.
anybody
Yeah.
for smoking.
Yeah.
I was a smoker,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thankful that I got off of it. I feel like quitting sugar was probably the hardest, and then quitting smoking. Right.
Yes, I would agree.
So,
I agree.
yeah. So sugar is super, super addictive, but
Yes.
smoking is a big factor if you're a smoker or even a drinker. Those things can be a huge factor. So, yeah, when we look at root causes, we need to think about what is the underlying thing that is causing the problem. So, when we can remove those root causes that cause the problem, like, do you have excess belly fat, visceral fat around your abdomen? And how do we get that off? So these diseases have so many contributing factors, but these food factors, sleep, and then you got your sleep and your stress, and the things that we talk about all the time here on Coach's Corner, making sure that you get some physical activity. When you improve those, then your health can improve also.
Yes. So I I was thinking about myself, thinking about like it's almost like owning the house, right? Your roof starts to leak, right? You're putting buckets on the floor. I mean, it makes sense, right? To catch the water. So the buckets are protecting your home in a sense, right? But eventually someone still has to find out, why is the roof leaking? Right? Like we
Absolutely.
could keep putting buckets, but let's get to the root cause of what's going on, right? So so health is off health, our health works the same way. Medication protect us for a while we're working on things that can improve, right? So it may protect us for a minute because the underlying issues, maybe they can't be changed, right? Okay, so that's fine. The important question isn't whether you're taking medication. The important question is, do you understand why you're taking the medication? Because a lot of times, people that I talk to don't even understand the side effects. They say they're taking it because of this disease. That's it. Okay, do you know what the medicine is doing in your body? You don't know none of these things. And so we just want you to start taking ownership of your health because it's you. And we want, I had to make a decision. Am I gonna just continue to stay in my situation, sitting in the chair, not being able to walk, not being able to get up and move because I was in so much pain, with inflammatory arthritis. I was in so much pain with sarcoidosis. I had lymphedema. My legs were swollen so bad, and I was almost 500 pounds, right? And so I had to make a decision, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gaining another pound, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna do something. So I just made a decision in my mind. I had to start speaking to myself again and hyping myself up, encouraging myself. You could do it. You had a great day today, man. Good job. As I had to talk to myself because I just couldn't keep living the way I was living, and it really had me down. I was depressed. I didn't go out the house for long periods of time, most of the time years. My wife was like, I don't understand how you could do it. I was like, well, I was on a submarine, so it's to me, I could do it like cakewalk. Hey, it's easy for me. But I don't want to be like that. I want to enjoy life, and that's what I've been doing. I've been getting out, enjoying life, going on cruises, going on vacations, exploring some more of the world that I didn't see. Like, hey, I got a bucket list again now. Like, let's go. That's what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I'm enjoying life, and I appreciate all the many animal-based proper human diet carnivores all around the world because when he mentioned that, the other thing I would say is you guys like and subscribe to us and others like us who are trying to put the word out because this is the only way this is going to get popular. And because unless more people start reaching more people, it's going to be it's just going to be a tough battle. And in order for things to change, we have to also change as well. And so these doctors that are out here doing their thing, the bakers, the Shafees, the Kilts, Ollie, come on, all them, like champion them on. Like we got to support one another as a community, and the community, I believe, is getting bigger. I know worldwide, it's gaining popularity in a lot of countries. I was watching an interview in India, okay, and they were talking about carnivore. That has me so psyched up right now. I'm like, okay, come on, US, where are we at? What are we gonna do here?
Come on. Come on. We got a bunch of comments in here. I'm going to just pop up a couple of these.
Okay. Yeah.
I see Lance is here. Lance is saying that our medical system is compromised by the big pharma and big food. You got that right.
Yes, sir.
Who pays for the research? They get the results they want. 100%. That's why we're in this predicament right now. Y'all remember Ansel Keys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know who he is and why we're in this predicament. So they get the results they want. And then our medical community gets taught what medication hides what symptoms. J. Potlover says,
Lance.
I blame feminism for ruining seed saving and gardening. I am seeing a resurgence of people planting their own gardens. Now, I'm talking about my own child. She's out here now. I remember my grandmother was a master gardener. She was a master gardener. She did flowers, a lot of flowers, beautiful roses that she had. And she cared for those things like they were her babies. But I'm seeing a resurgence of interest in planting and having your own garden. We have a community garden at our church where there are folks that go out there and work that garden and, and then we provide that food. Provide that food to the community. The community be looking for that. Like, is there going to be a garden this year? Like, they want it.
Yes.
And so
and we
think,
take a lot to the shelters too.
Yes, we do. Yes. Man. So I think that I just really feel like there's a resurgence of people getting interested in doing their own gardens.
Yeah.
Dustin is saying that we need to figure out a way to turn this tanker, this bad nutrition and pharma around and focus on getting beef back on the menu. 100%. Absolutely. Where they've told us that beef, only a size of the palm of your hand. Lean only. Let them get wealthy on beef, eggs, and better raised chickens and pork.
Yes. And one thing I did see, and I was so glad because I've been, I was a truck driver for a while. And I've always, I did that for about 3 years and over the road driving. But recently, earlier this year, I was been driving back, to Tampa. And man, I'm going to tell you, one thing I've been seeing a lot more of is cattle off the side, like just riding past tons, all the way from Ohio all the way on down to Florida. I'm seeing a lot more cattle farms. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, okay, wait a minute. Have I not just been taking notice of this, or is there more people who are raising cattle now? And so I thought that was so great. I wish I had some property or some land.
I know that's right.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. I would have I would have me some. Yes,
let's do it. Let's figure out a way and make it happen.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right. So John is here and he says, life is for living. We can enjoy it when we're healthy. That's exactly right. We want to be able to enjoy our lives. And then I'll see you tomorrow at 1:00, John. I'm excited to be back on Carnivore Sunday School.
Oh, yes. And I'm waiting for my invitation to come back. I love you guys.
And then,
man.
John is saying, click the like button and subscribe. Yes, please.
That's
We would
right.
appreciate it
Please
so much.
do.
And
Yes.
share this video with somebody that you know needs it, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Let's see who else is
We
asking.
support everybody, and we support everybody. Listen, I see somebody teaching or doing carnival. I like and subscribe them. That's the least you could do, right? I
Yeah.
support everybody because we need to get more of this message out.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of which, we need to take a look at your channel. Give me the name again.
Mine,
Mhm.
the one I'm hoping to
You're
launch
working on it,
next
but we're
week.
gonna get everybody to subscribe
Yeah,
tonight. What is it?
it's called. Oh, I should just give you the link because I got so much going on. Listen, the name of my show is going to be called Ground Zero. Okay, that's the
Uh-huh.
name of the show. But the YouTube channel is called Between Sundays Entertainment, ENT. So it's
There it
Between
is.
Sundays ENT. Yeah, that's the channel. And
Between
yeah, so
Sundays
I know I've been telling people
Entertainment.
I'm getting it going, but I didn't realize how hard it is really and I'm kind of like a perfectionist, and it's like just like it's talking about with the food for the kids, it's like I just can't slack in any way when I do stuff. If I'm gonna put out anything from me, I'm gonna try to put out my best. So
Oh my
for me,
gosh.
sometimes what
I can't believe how many between Sundays.
it is a lot. It's a lot. So
Put your
ours is
between Sundays link in the chat.
I told you it's a lot. It's Between Sundays ENT. And yeah, do
Okay.
it that way.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. BSE. You should be able to just go BSE, but I'll put it in there. I'll give it to you.
Okay. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's
I know. It's a
crazy.
lot. It's a lot. Yes.
All right. Yeah, you're gonna have to put your link down there. I
Put
know
the
I'm
thing in there.
subscribed to it, but for some reason it's not
Yes.
popping up.
You and
Okay, so
John, I think,
y'all,
are.
oh my gosh, please subscribe. Okay, so
Yeah.
Dustin's also saying it's up to all of us, the doctors,
Yes.
health coaches,
Doctor.
content
That's right.
creators, the people who show up in the chats, all of us.
I agree.
100%.
Yes, sir.
100%. And then John is saying you're back. You're welcome to come back anytime. So come on
Love. You know
back.
I want to come back. Yes. I need to get on
Yes.
your
And then
schedule. Yeah.
Dustin wants us to come. He said, you're both invited to come join me on Saturday and we can talk about your journeys and whatever you want to talk about. I'm always looking
Uh,
to share everybody's
yes, man.
journey.
Let me get your contact because I'm coming for you.
Yep, I got it. I will make sure I put you two,
Okay.
connect y'all two together.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So
See?
tonight's discussion really was to make us to start to think about the question, do I really have to take this medicine for the rest of my life? And in many cases, the answer is going to be no, you don't. You have the power to take the trajectory of your health into your own hands. But you have to be able you almost got to be fearless in order to do it, right? Because we've been taught so much dogma that it's just incorrect. And we have been taught all the wrong things about nutrition and food and eating. We've been taught that a calorie is a calorie and 100 calories of broccoli and 100 calories of steak and 100-calorie pack are all going to process the same way in our bodies. And if you think about that, that's just some foolishness. It doesn't make sense. So if you have autoimmune conditions, right? If you have chronic inflammatory issues, you definitely can try something to try to change that. And so that is really, really what we wanted to talk about tonight. Yes, there are cases where people will be on medication for their lives, but so many of these medications are just, if you could change your way of eating, if you could change your lifestyle, simplify your life, right? So do I say it's easy? No, it's not easy, but simple? Oh yeah, it is simple, super, super simple, what you can do to change your health trajectory. So that's what we wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. So here's what we want you to do. And we talked a little bit about it. And I think Dustin down in the chat or Lance, somebody down in the chat mentioned this. This is a practical thing that you can do is the next time you visit your healthcare provider, take an updated list of all the medications you're taking. You got that big old box of medications on your counter? Take that whole thing, right? Take that whole list and ask these questions about each one. What is this medication for? What is it treating? And what happens if I don't take it? You know, is this medication literally replacing something that my body can no longer do? Or is it just managing a condition that could be improved? Now, a lot of times our doctors won't even know that the condition can be improved. You still got doctors out here saying that that type 2 diabetes is irreversible. And we know for a fact that it's like easily reversible. People are reversing it in like such a short period of time, right? So do your own research, become your own advocate, right? And you ask your doctor this question: is there anything I can do safely through lifestyle to improve my health and potentially reduce my need for this medication? Let's see if your doctor can answer that question. Let's see if they
Yeah.
can, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we just really want you to start asking better questions.
Yes. So I'm just repeating this one more time. We're not promising anyone that you can reduce your medications, okay? We're not even trying to tell you nothing like that. One, we can't even, we're not a doctor, first of all, to tell you those things. So we're not trying to be doctors. We're not trying to come on here acting like we're doctors. We're
Right.
not. Okay? So, but what we are concerned, you know, coaches, health coaches, and we're concerned, you know, people who we have many people that are sick metabolically, and we're just tired of just the same old everyday drum of, okay, everybody's just taking a medication every day, and still eating the same way. It's just still doing the same things. We're tired of that. And so we just want people to be informed, and we want as many people to be informed as possible. So, so this is just an opportunity. You know, look, one healthy meal, it compounds, right? Then you eating healthy for the day, right? We talking about going on a walk, right? You do a walk today, you know, after you eat, you know, go take a walk. So listen, when I was housebound, you know, I was doing chair exercises and just moving my legs, you know. I was trying to do calf raises just to get the calf going and burning. And then I'd just be doing chair exercise. So I'm just saying, like, don't let your disability or these things that hinder you keep you from moving. Movement, as I know now, is the most important thing. Oh my goodness. Because I sat for so long, for so many years, it shortened up my muscles in my hip. So now I have hip problems, right? And so, you know, trying to work through these things now, but it's hard. I'm not telling you it's easy. It's hard, but I'm not going to give up the fight. I could better fight today because 50%, 60% of my pain is gone away just from the foods I was eating, okay? Just from the foods I was eating. It took away 60% of my pain. So I'm not going to tell you I'm pain-free, but the pain I have is really, I'm amazed at how I dealt with all the pain in the first place, how comfortable that got for me. But, you know, I was taking a lot of pain pills too. So it's like we get comfortable doing those things. I just think of all the things I used to do to myself, especially when I was working. I would get up in the morning and just take 800 milligrams of Motrin and then take 2 Excedrins. That was just getting up going to get out the door. Then at first break, I took another set, 800 Motrins and 2 Excedrins. Just, that was like my whole day just to work. And Did that for years until my stomach started bleeding. But anyway, so I'm just saying, like, the things we allow ourselves to fall, to do because we're trying to live and a lot of times we don't know better. But once you hear and know better, it's time to do better, really. So
100%.
So anyway, back to you, Robyn.
Yeah. So if you are a health coach, we would love to have you join us for an episode
Yes.
of Coach's Corner. Reach out to me. I got my email scrolling across the bottom, and we're going to be inviting some coaches to come on and talk about a topic that is on your heart to talk about, right? So you can go ahead and reach out and let us know that you're interested in being a guest panelist on Coach's Corner. And Dustin is a certified proper human diet health coach, which is amazing. So we know we got to get you over here.
Yes.
A couple of things that Dustin is saying here, like we're not stepping outside of our scope of practice as health coaches, which is what we are. And then also we're talking about getting your consistency up. Your life is going to look so much different if you get to 60, 70, 80, and 90% consistency of being on track, one meal at a time.
I like that. That's great.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
Man, thanks, Dustin, man.
Yeah, thanks, Dustin. So we'll look forward to having you on. I'm definitely going to reach out. I'm definitely going to be reaching out and getting Dustin to come on over here, and we'll have a conversation on Coach's Corner. So thank you so much for being here with us tonight. If tonight's conversation encouraged you, challenged you, or gave you a new perspective, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Like the video, y'all. And then we'll make sure that we have Coach Brown's channel.
I sent it to you. You got it.
Is it in there?
Put it, yeah.
Okay.
It's too late to put it out there?
No.
Let me say, yeah.
It's probably in my.
I emailed it and then I texted it to you. So.
Oh, you texted it to me. Okay.
And I emailed
then
it.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it then.
So once again, thank you all for coming to spend your Saturday with us. We definitely appreciate anybody who stops in. Hey, thank you. You could be doing so many other things, and I get it because there's so much always going on. But thank you for spending your time with us. Okay, we appreciate
all
you.
Right.
Really
so do. Here it is right here. Hold on,
yeah. Yes.
Between Sundays, that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
So go ahead and subscribe to his channel.
Yes.
And he will be posting up some shows, and this show will stream to his channel coming soon. I'm dropping that link in the chat there. I'll make sure that it's down in the description box below as well, so that you guys can go and subscribe. So he'll have he's got 2 subscribers so far. So y'all, come on, we got 5 people in here, so he should have at least 5.
They're probably like, "Where's the material?" It's coming, I promise you. And
oh my gosh, yes. All right, you guys. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for another episode of Coach's Corner. And thank y'all so much for being here with us tonight. Don't forget about Impact that's coming up on September 5th, 2026, right here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It is Impact Meet Up and Eat Up, huh?
There's still tickets left? No.
There's a few tickets left.
Tickets.
So I have 120 tickets total, and we have sold 96 of them. So it's almost sold. I'm telling y'all, it's selling out. Don't wait. Get your tickets and come and be a part of it. It's going to be amazing. And we're showing the Healing Humanity documentary. I'm super excited to be one of the many sites that are going to be sharing that video. And so it's not even a video. It is an epic drama.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to it.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Yes. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.
See ya.